retail silver that is already in the hands of consumers, like people who have candelabras and junk silver and tea sets or whatever. It's already on the consumer level, and it's trying to force its way back up the supply chain
Swimming upstream.
in the
Okay, yeah,
opposite direction, right?
yeah,
So, and then you're saying, but when the end game comes, all this stuff that's forcing silver up the supply chain into the bars is going to come reversing itself
yeah.
down from the bars into the money, but that's not there yet because we're not there yet. But like right now, like we're playing hot potato with this stupid silver brick, and it's like
Yeah.
really hot, and the retail and the consumers are like throwing it back up the supply chain, and the supply chain can't handle it. And then eventually, when the ending comes, the people at the top of the supply chain are going to try to force it back to the retailers, but we're not going to have the minters ready to fire it up and make dimes again. It's going to
Yeah.
be it's going to really mess up the supply of silver that's going to be needed, which is why exactly why the prices of everything in silver terms is going to plummet in the immediate aftermath of the end game until the coins start coming out from the bars and into the mints.
Can you imagine being the refiner who's been like melting down coins for like a year at a furious pace, and then
Now they got
suddenly
to
get the
reverse
order, turn it
everything.
back, turn it back.
It's okay. Normally, you would not be going 65 down the wrong way of a one-way street. Apply the brakes. Now put it in reverse.
I can kill a bird. I don't. I just don't think I can like kill a goat in front of the temple.
You're not going to kill it. The priest
Oh,
is
you're
going to
not.
do it.
Oh, the
No.
priest does it. Oh, I don't. I don't have to like
No, no,
be
no.
like.
All you have to do is push your hand on its head.
Oh, okay. I can do that.
Okay.
I can. All right. All right. So you build the third temple. I'll come sacrifice a goat there with you. I'm serious. I'm not
Okay.
joking. I'll sacrifice a
Okay.
goat at the temple. Or two.
Good. Okay. Um, this is recording, so
This is recording.
I'll put this in at the appendix. Hey guys, Rafia from the Endgame Investor, and we've got Phil on the line with this month's edition of the Bitter Endgame Draft. And Phil's getting a little antsy and a little bit nervous, and you have to try to calm him down in the comments below because he thinks that this might be his last show here, because he thinks the world's about to end. I'm not so sure. And even if the world ends, that doesn't mean we're going to stop recording. It seems we're going to stop recording until the power is back on. But I don't know. Phil will do what he wants, and you can encourage him in the comments below. Phil, how are you doing? Are you palpitating? Are you calm? Are you on any drugs? Any Xanax lately?
No, no, no. If I'll tell you what, if things calm down, like if silver goes maybe sub 30 again and stays there for a while, then I'll come back on and sheepishly admit I was jumped the gun there. But this looks really in-gamey. So
I don't think we're
I
going below 30 and staying there. And if we go below 30, then that's probably going to be the final crunch. And then from
yeah,
there, we'll
so
go
there
to
you
like a
are. So
thousand.
there's no reason to be. So we are at the end game, Ravi. That's it.
Yeah. If
We're
you
near
just
it.
think about the perspective here, was it 2 or 3 months ago? We were thinking about $85 silver. That's impossible.
Yeah.
Or no, that's not impossible, but it's like it's in a
It's gonna
different
be a while.
universe.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it happened, and then we're like, oh my God, $85 silver crashed. Oh my God, we're all
It's
doomed.
all over.
No,
Yeah,
no,
pack it in.
no. Yeah.
You know what's funny? I was skiing that day. So on Friday, I took the day off work and I took my son was off school, so we just went skiing, and I wasn't checking anything at all. And then suddenly, I finished the skiing and we are driving home. I'm checking. Oh my goodness, down $40.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened to me because I was offline. I didn't check the internet all Shabbos, all Friday night and Saturday. I'm offline. I don't have any devices or anything like that. I'm disconnected from the world, thank God. And then I open the phone and my kids are, where's Silver? I'm like, oh my God.
What's funny is like we don't because we know what we know. Like I'm not worried at all. It doesn't concern me at all. I'm not like, oh my gosh, I just lost a third of my savings.
Well, I think I did. No, no, not a third. Maybe I lost like a fifth.
A fifth of your
I don't
savings.
know.
Yeah.
I didn't do the numbers. But yeah, I lost a sizable chunk of dollar of
Yeah.
notional dollar value on Friday. I'm not going to hide that. It's pretty obvious.
But that's the
Uh,
point. The point of our shows was to tell, to teach people the volatility is absolutely expected. So like
yeah.
that way you don't feel this. I don't feel anything. I feel
Well,
nothing,
Phil,
Rafi.
consider this. you were skiing downhill while Silver was also skiing downhill. And on my way back, I was at my brother's a little bit south of here. On my way back from his house, I went the wrong way on the highway, about 26 kilometers I lost. And I just took the wrong exit. And then I went south 13 kilometers. I was supposed to go north, so I had to go north another 13 kilometers. So I lost 26 kilometers. I was like, so I said to my wife, I was like, "Oh, it's okay. Like, it's symbolic. Silver went down. We're going the wrong way for a while. We'll turn around and we'll go back
Turn
home.
around,
It'll
go
be
the right way
fine."
again.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go. All right, we
Yeah.
want to
I
talk
don't want to
about.
alarm you, but we went to the gas station and they were out of gas. So we had to
Yeah,
go.
no,
Yeah.
uh, yeah. We had a big snowstorm here, and like the grocery stores do not have standard stock, so it's definitely can see it.
Yeah.
Even the roads are not as like the roads are not as well plowed as they were before. There's definitely some structural problems happening.
Okay. So the first thing we wanted to talk about today was the fact that gold, silver could be in a bubble, maybe of some sort, but gold cannot be in a bubble. And in order to explain why that is, we have to define what gold is and what a bubble is. Phil, I wrote about this on the Endgame Investor. No, or did I make a video on it, or did I do
You made a
both?
video. You did both. You did both.
Okay, I kind of like
I can
I've
remember
lost track of what I'm doing. I'm kind of on autopilot.
that.
So Phil, how does your brain categorize this information? How do you
Yeah.
express it in your way?
So what everyone has to remember is that gold is the price matrix. So when the price of gold goes up, the price of all other things in the gold derivative, when the price of gold in its own derivative goes up, the price of all other things in the gold derivative also goes up. The system to keep this thing going, the system needs gold as cheap as possible, which is why it was legalized in 1974, I think it was.
1974, yes.
1974, right? So one of the things about something being illegal is that it's more expensive. So
Yeah. Yeah, look at
when they
drugs.
yeah, when they made gold when they took us off the gold standard in 1971, gold was starting to shoot off to the moon. So what did they? One of the things they did was to psychologically help convince people that you don't need the gold, but say, oh, you know what, you don't need the gold anymore. I mean, you can have gold if you want now. We're gonna make it legal again, but you don't really need to think about it. You can have our T-bills instead. You should put your dollars into our T-bills, right? Keep the Ponzi going. And so that made gold quite a bit cheaper than it was when it was legal. But it still started shooting up until Volcker was able to really get the Ponzi going in 80.
I think Ron
Um,
Paul was one of the motivating factors behind the legalization of gold. I think I might be making that
yeah.
up. I think it's true.
But that was absolutely part of the scam. Making it legal again was part of it. Being like, oh, okay, yeah, you can have those pet rocks. We don't care
Yeah, I
about
know.
those
Of
anymore.
course, they'll use Ron Paul for their own purposes if they can, and
Yeah,
they did. And okay, fine, but what are we gonna do?
yeah. And then like I say, like saying gold was the price matrix, and the system needs gold is the price matrix, and the system needs gold to stay as cheap as possible. So the other way that they were manipulating the gold prices with gold futures contracts, right? So to the in the COMEX, they issue a bunch of futures contracts that artificially increases the supply of gold and causes people to think there's more gold out there than there is, and that of course lowers the price. And then of course people start doing the physical redemptions, and then it's revealed that there's too many notes, and the price shoots back up in a panic, right? Um, so it is the gold because gold is money. Gold moves in the opposite direction of everything else in terms of bubbliness, right? So when everything else is in a bubble, gold has to be suppressed because it is the price matrix. So to make people go, invest their money in T-bills or put their money in .com companies or put their money in cryptocurrency, they have to make gold look as unattractive as possible, so people do not put their wealth back into gold and start raising the prices of consumer goods. So that is where they move in opposite directions. You cannot have if the price of gold goes up in dollar terms, right? People abandon the other bubbles or the bubbles and move back into gold. So the price of gold must be kept down as low as possible. And the price of gold shooting up right now is a sign of the bubbles popping.
So let me ask you something challenging.
Sure.
Do you think this is a conscious process or a market subconscious process? And if it's subconscious, how does it work? Because I would doubt that it's conscious because I don't think that anyone in power really understands that gold really is money. They wouldn't be able to tell you why or how or whether it really matters.
Right.
So if it's subconscious, how does it work?
The subconscious part comes from just people demanding the physical at some point. And it doesn't have to be, there's people like you and me who are like, we demand physical. We don't want to trust your notes. But there's also jewelers or, who else takes delivery of gold? I guess just, maybe banks who want to have, assets on, real assets on their side of the balance sheet instead of, more T-bills or whatever. Speculators see the price is going to go up, and so they want to have the physical, and they don't want
Yeah,
the paper
if it's
derivatives.
the way my cousin when he worked for the CME explained it is that a speculator will take a warrant to take ownership of of a specific bar instead of a notional bar when he thinks that the price will go up long term and he doesn't want to have to pay rollover costs of constantly renewing his contract. So he'll just hold the warrant until he thinks that the price is ripe and then he'll sell it again.
Okay, yeah. So there you go. There are market forces that will, and then of course, if the price really starts going up, he will that he'll be sitting on the bar. He'll change his mind and he won't want to sell it because he's like, well, it's going to go up even further. Even if he's not thinking about gold being money, he's like, well, gold's going parabolic, so I might as well hold on to it until later, where I can get even more dollars for it in the future. So yeah,
Right.
there are market forces that will pressure people to take and hold physical. It's not just us. It's not just the
Right.
sound money people, but the sound money people certainly have an effect. I mean, I'm hearing total normies talking about gold and silver now. Now they're not
Mhm.
panicking yet. They're just in the hey, this might be a good buy phase.
Yeah, actually, I was in shul in synagogue on Saturday morning, and the guy I would is he a rabbi? I don't know. I just call him the rabbi. The rabbi of the shul was speaking, and he was talking about the portion where this is right after the sea split, right? And then after the sea split, we get manna from heaven. The saying manna from heaven, we get bread, some kind of thing falling from the sky every morning, and that's our breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So he was saying that the pasuk, the verse on the falling of the manna, says Dvar Yom B'Yomo. We were only allowed to take what we needed for the day. And we're not allowed to hoard it or save it. If we did, anything left over would rot. So, like God was trying to train us not to save specifically and to rely on Him exclusively. And that takes a lot of faith to only take what you need for the day and then rely on another miracle happening the next morning that, food falling from the sky in the middle of a desert and happened for 40 years straight like, on a rhythm, 6 days yes, one day no. So you're saying like what's the point of discouraging saving? You want to save, saving is good, but his point was that we can't constantly think that we know exactly what's going to happen in the future, and this is especially important for gold and silver bugs. We know what's going to happen eventually, but to think that we know the timeline of how we're going to get from here to the end game is ridiculous. We don't know. I didn't know that gold and silver were going to crash on Friday. I had no idea. I just knew it was going to happen. I mean, I've been saying that on the Endgame Investor and here on every video, like it's gonna happen. I don't know when, I don't know to where, but it's gonna happen, and okay, it happened. I don't know if it's over yet. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But and then he said like we don't know what's gonna happen. We don't know what's gonna happen with Iran. We don't know what's gonna happen with this. We don't know what's gonna happen with the next war. We don't know what's gonna happen with anti-Semitism and Jew hatred. These are things that are going on in Israelis' heads. And then he says we don't know what's gonna happen with the price of gold. I'm like, whoa, where did that come from? Like this guy, like he's just a guy and he's talking about the price of gold. Okay,
Yeah.
fine, good.
No, it's great. Get it into everybody's head as much as possible. I mean, the sole point is to spread this out as much as possible.
Yeah.
But the so as I was said, back to gold being in a bubble, it's simply not possible for it to be in a bubble because it is the thing that determines the bubbles of all other things. The bubble comes from fake notes for gold being printed and those notes being put into something like cryptocurrency. So the holders of the derivative, like cryptocurrency, think themselves very wealthy until the crash when they realize they are not.
I would point out, Phil, one thing I'll point out, and then one thing I'll challenge you again. One thing did not move, while gold fell about 11% on Friday. Bitcoin price and gold did not move almost at all. Bitcoin now is like 78,000. I think it was down from like 92,000 on Friday or 90,000, whatever it was. But the Bitcoin price in gold is about 16 and a half ounces, and it was about 16 and a half ounces on Thursday. It was about the same thing. The challenge I want to issue you is you'll say the price of everything is gold is the price matrix and everything is priced in gold. But gold fell about 10% yesterday, but the prices of everything didn't fall 10%. The prices of everything in dollars is about the same. And I think you'll know the answer, and I'll give you an answer after you give your crack at it.
Sure, it's kind of like a if you imagine a pond, right? And suddenly you throw a stone in the pond and things start doing, the matrix of the pond is doing this.
Mhm.
So yeah, if gold stays down, prices will start to come down again. I mean, prices of other goods as well. In fact, if you look at the
So
deflation of
gold
the
is the
19
stone, right?
gold is the stone, right? Yeah, and
Mhm.
it's if it moves up, everything else moves up, and if it moves down, everything else moves down as
So the
well.
dollar is
But
sea level and gold is the stone that causes the
yeah,
ridges. Okay.
exactly. And I mean, you can. It takes time. It'll take time. If you were to suddenly remove a whole bunch of gold and gold from the system, and gold got extremely expensive, prices in gold terms would go way, 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 way up, whether or not we're printing more dollars or not. If
No,
you
no, if
if
you
you
take gold away, then prices go to way, 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 way down.
Down. I'm sorry, down.
Right,
Yes, you're
right,
right. Prices would go way, 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 way down. If you add a bunch of gold, then prices would go way, way, way up. Right, exactly
right.
right. But it does take time for these things to filter through. It's just like in the. But I will say this: the market will try if there is a discrepancy in gold, like if one place has more gold than other places, the market will try to extract that gold as fast as possible. That's why in the gold rush, like all the hookers and stuff ran straight to San Francisco.
What to do, what to do. One $300 hooker bot or $301 hooker bots?
Because they're like, well, we'll charge $50 a night in gold terms, and then we'll
Well,
go
like
spend the gold.
an increase in gold demand in equals an increase in demand for sex. That's what you're saying.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think at least it would maybe increase the supply, just trying to
Okay.
extract the
Oh yeah,
gold
yeah. There's
from the
more men.
localized
Right,
spot.
right. They'll just follow the men. Okay, got it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Anyway, we're getting a little bit off topic there, but it's
Okay.
just a matrix. If the price of gold continues to plummet, then yes, I would absolutely expect to see the price of things like food continue to plummet, and we'll end up in a deflationary crash. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think the price of gold is going to maybe not tomorrow, maybe not even next week, but the price of gold is going to continue rocketing up higher in dollar terms,
hmm
and we should see
So
the price of everything else follow.
So what I would add, not to displace your explanation at all, but to add to it, I would say that the delay between dollar prices and gold prices is what makes the boom and bust cycle work.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Yeah.
I would agree
If
with
there
that.
were no delay, there would be no
And
boom. And if there's
yeah,
no
it
boom,
would.
there's no bust.
Yeah,
The fact that if that things can be so wildly mispriced in gold allows the boom to happen because that's what makes people think that they're rich through market forces that travel up from gold to everything else. Um, and as fans of this channel will know, the price matrix is gold because for logical reasons, let's take empiricism out of it, that prices began in gold terms, therefore they are still in gold terms because you have to link up back to that past. They're in distorted gold terms, and as the price of gold heads higher, it takes however long it takes for prices to filter from the beginning of the structure of production to the end of it, and that's however long let's say the limiting reagent, the longest thing it takes to manufacture, filters from digging metals out of the ground to mine until you get let's say an iPhone or whatever it is.
I think the
That's going to take
sad yeah.
years. It's going to take years. But no, 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 this isn't going to take years. I think the delay here until we feel the bulk of it will probably take months, but not much more than that.
Yeah. The rebuilding's gonna take years,
Oh, okay.
I think. We'll see.
Yeah.
The trouble, what discourages me somewhat is that it apparently takes a very small subset of people of pretty high IQs to understand this. And so, like, you just a normal 100 IQ guy is just not going to get this, that gold is money and that, he's being lied to. And so the scam can just be perpetrated. I mean, the scam will blow up, but they can start a new scam in the future.
I don't think it has anything to do with IQ. I think IQ can confuse a lot of people. The
Yeah,
smarter
there are a
you
lot of
are, the more
smart
you
people too.
overthink things.
Yeah.
The biggest problem, I think, is overthinking everything. We're trying to say, like, it's very simple. Prices used to be gold, therefore, you have to go back to the past, and therefore, prices are still gold. They're distorted gold. Like, but then all of their current experiences get in the way. But the current experiences we've had for the past 80 years are all messed up. That's what people don't want to accept. Right? People overthink
Yeah.
everything, and the fact, like, if everyone lived, but this is the importance of culture. If everyone lived in a world where we operated more or less on logic, right? Gold is money, and you can't just create it without distorting the entire structure of production, and that's because that's stealing. You don't do that. Then people would have an innate understanding that gold is money. They don't have to think about it. Problem is that everybody thinks too much now, and that's the problem. So the smarter you get, the dumber you get too.
Well, it just discourages me that like we can't seem to just outthink this problem. Like this is gonna keep happening over time, as it has been happening since ancient Rome, you know?
It's really watching humanity chase its tail, except right now we're spinning so fast that our brains are coming out of our eye sockets.
My brains are going into my feet.
Yeah, it is. I don't want to say, is it unfortunate that we are in this time? I don't know. Maybe we're just here to be in this time.
We wouldn't have been sent here, and we didn't, we were sent here because we didn't ask to be born. I don't remember asking to be born,
Yeah.
at least. But somebody put my consciousness in this time. Not saying that it didn't exist beforehand, but
Yeah.
we're here for a reason. We have a job to do, so let's just do it and stop complaining.
There you go. All right, so go. I think you agree, gold. It's impossible. The viewer should not worry. Gold is not in a bubble. Can silver be in a bubble? Maybe.
It can.
I think it's tethered. It's
Okay,
tethered to
wait,
gold.
wait.
So
So wait. One more question on this. If gold is
yeah.
not in a bubble, then how would you describe what happened on Friday?
Um,
Not in terms of the mechanics on it of it, but what is a gold? What does gold going down 10% even mean?
that's a good question. I'm not. We can talk about it during the puke phase of this conversation, the
Okay.
monetary puke
Okay,
phase.
so let's just go there
We
then,
just
because
slide.
that's
Yeah, we'll
yeah.
just segue right into it.
We're gonna
I'm
slide right
not.
into the barf. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Okay,
Anyway,
I'm not sure what exactly caused the puke, but I'm also not sure what has been causing gold and silver to be going up, 10% every week, you know?
no, I'm not even asking about the cause. I'm asking about, okay, given that this has happened, forget about what caused it.
Right.
What is it saying? Now gold is 10% lower than it was yesterday or on Thursday in dollars. Therefore, what does that even mean?
I'm guessing it's a paper sell-off, but I'm not sure. I mean, I don't think a bunch of people are running to with their physical gold in their hands and trying to get it into the dealers, and the dealers were turning them away and dropping their prices.
No,
So,
you're
and that
still
caused stuff.
talking mechanics. I'm saying, like,
Okay.
okay, give an example of the sort of answer that I want.
Okay.
And then you can improvise from there. But okay, so if gold is down 10% or 11%, whatever it was in dollar terms, the dollar is there was more demand for the dollar on Friday than there was for gold. For some reason, a lot more people wanted more dollars than gold. They had more gold than they wanted. They had less dollars than they wanted. They needed dollars for some
Okay.
reason.
Okay.
If they needed dollars for some reason, we could speculate as to why. It could be maybe they're just stupid. That's possible. Or it could be that some of them needed to pay down some debt. that they had, that they didn't have enough dollars and they had a lot of gold or silver.
What happened to the Dixie on Friday? Did dollar spike against other currencies as well?
I don't think it went up that much.
Really? Okay.
I think it was like a mild rise.
Yeah.
I know that the shekel went up to like 3.1, but
Yeah.
that's the weakest that it's
It
been in
could
a long
it
time.
it could be speculators abandoning their position as well. I mean, there could have been people saying like, gold is going parabolic, so I'll jump on the rocket now and I'll ride it to Parabola Town. And then, for whatever reason, Parabola Town didn't show up and they had their margins to cover, so they got out of their leveraged gold positions. That could be too.
Okay. Well, mechanically, I think just I'm not sure about this, but I'm waiting for Keith Weiner to come out with his report because he's pretty reliable and I think he understands markets, the depth of what's happening in each layer more than most people. But I think what might have happened, judging by the trading volume I saw in SLV and GLD, these were huge volumes. Like GLD was the second most shares traded in a day ever. The only day that exceeded it was April 2013 when gold crashed. It was also about 10%, I think. Um, but that wasn't from a high. This was from an all-time high. So I think what might have happened is that retailers came in and said, okay, well, this is going up, so I'll buy it here and I'll set a sell stop at some whatever level it is. And as it went higher, more people came in and multiplied that move higher in the ETF, and the ETF dragged up other markets like futures in other countries, and because everybody looks at us for an arbitrage. Not us, the US. I mean, that spells us, but that's not what I meant. Uh, and um, and then what might have happened is that a selling wave started, and then the first level of sell stops were triggered, which triggered even more selling, and then again it just kept unwinding and unwinding. And the reason that I'm speculating that is that the discount on SLV, which is like $73 now, to silver is at an all-time record high. So SLV shares are trading at a record discount to the value of the silver that's supposedly held in the fund. I'm not going to argue about whether it's there. Assuming it's there, then SLV is trading at an all-time record discount to the silver that it owns.
What does that mean? The people want physical and they don't want notional silver.
I don't think it has to do with anything with people want. I think it just has to do with I think they set sell stops, and
Oh,
then
okay.
at market you only buy not based on what the fund is worth, but whatever offers are up there.
Yeah, okay. So no one's interested in taking it.
Yeah, I guess not enough people were, but I think that's going to reverse on Monday and Tuesday as arbitrageurs see, or
The opportunity. Yeah.
whoever can acquire enough SLV shares to redeem those shares, take the bullion, sell it to China for a premium. They're going to take advantage of that.
Now here's a tinfoil tidbit for you. Chris Jansen was pointing out on his Substack that the CME, the COMEX, has market stops. So when the price crashes, the trading is supposed to stop for like an hour or something, right?
Yeah.
But that never happened. They overrode their fail safes to let the crash happen. What do you think that was
Yeah.
about?
Could be. I don't get that deep into these kinds of theories, not because I think they're false,
Yeah.
but because I don't see the benefit of trying to get that deep into the structure of things to try to figure out what's happening. Because in the end, I realize that I don't really give a shit because I know where we're going anyway.
I do sort of feel the same way. But anyway, the theory was that J.P. Morgan was covering their shorts. Then they needed the price to dip a lot so they could just get out of their short positions. So that had
Okay,
something to do
maybe.
with it. But then the only way they could do that is to have a bunch of futures created, because that's the only way they could get the price to drop on their. That's the only way they could. That's the only way they can manipulate the market is to have a bunch of futures dump onto the market, and maybe they did that to start, and that started a sell cascade because everybody had stop loss orders set up on their accounts. So they started with that, it avalanches into a stop loss cascade, and then they can
Yeah.
sell at their bottom.
Look, if somebody wanted to do this, they'd need a lot of data. where the
Yeah.
stop losses, where the stop sells are, and this is private information. They'd need something to spy on where all the numbers are that they could trigger without people
Well, they wouldn't do
noticing.
that. Yeah.
I don't know how it would be done, but open interest went down, yeah, way down in gold yesterday. That means like contracts were covered. They weren't created. They were destroyed.
Okay.
So okay, so like my problem is like, okay, fine. Any one of these period theories could be correct, but I've never seen anyone back any of them up. Like with hard data, I've never seen it. But anytime this happens, like the big names, they say, "Oh, J.P. Morgan's behind it." Maybe they are. The thing is, I'm not saying they are, they aren't. I'm saying I don't care. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah.
This is all chasing phantoms.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's just going to be the medal holders who are the winners, and everyone else is going to be the losers. So it doesn't like the day to day doesn't matter, and you once you understand that, you can detach yourself from it. Once again, that's why I did not. I had zero emotional reaction to Friday.
Oh,
Did
come on,
you?
not zero. I'm sure you had an emotional reaction.
No, zero. I knew this was coming. I mean,
Oh.
I probably wouldn't even have emotions until like 40. Yeah, if it dipped below 40 and I got to go tell my wife like, oh yeah, we're back to 40, you
Okay.
know.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, well,
I knew
yeah.
this was going to fly around. I made videos on this. I said expect extreme volatility. It would not surprise me at all if silver goes up to 200 and then back down to 70. Like this doesn't it's going to happen. All I know is at the end of the crash, the gold and silver holders are going to have money. But you have to dig very very deep and not get bucked off not get bucked off this pony because
Yeah.
it is going to be kicking. Especially silver. Silver's really going to be kicking.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to say in this video, I think you know the answer to this because I told you. But what precious metal did is the only one that did not crash on Friday?
It's iridium,
Okay. Yeah,
which
yeah, I
you
have
have.
I have 1 ounce of iridium because I knew that silver would crash,
That's
but iridium
So
would be
iridium, yeah, iridium is the counter trade. If you're worried about silver crashing, and you wanna hedge that. This is
yeah,
the
yeah.
Farber hedge, is that what you called it? The Farbarian
I
hedge?
don't know. But I
Take
think
leveraged iridium
I
position
think I'm
to
gonna
counteract
start an iridium ETF.
with your 1 ounce
Yeah. Yep. Everyone can own fractional atoms
fraction.
in my in my ounce of iridium. I don't even know how to sell the thing. What am I gonna do with it? I don't know. Okay.
How'd you buy it?
I got it from this site Luciteria.
Oh, they
They
buy it
like
back from you?
they can, yeah, but he said like my price spreads are horrible, so you're not gonna get a good deal. Like he's warning you. Because he knows that nobody else is going to offer to buy it. Like
Oh, that makes sense.
I could sell it maybe to a company that manufactures spark plugs, but I don't know where that is.
Yeah.
Who
They could
knows?
bury you with it.
Yeah. No, no, no. I don't want to be buried with my somebody who's going to inherit it.
Okay.
Um, wait, what's our third topic?
Oh, it was the clog and the silver refiners.
Oh,
We want
okay,
to talk
yes,
about that.
yes. So this week, hopefully, I'm gonna have a silver retailer, gold and silver retailer, Brian Kuzma on the channel to talk just about what's happening at his level. Because I don't know what's going on in the retail level. I don't operate a store. I'm not anywhere near retail. I'm up in the ether, and I try to get down somewhere in the troposphere, but I never end up on ground level. So he's going to talk about that. What he said was that he stopped. His store is commercial precious metals. I forgot what it's called. It's in Fort Lauderdale. Um, Commercial rare coins and precious metals in Fort Lauderdale, and he stopped buying gold and silver from clients. Like people would come in and say, "Here's my coin, give me cash." And he was doing that for a while, but he can't do it anymore because the refiners have stopped buying what comes in. He doesn't resell those coins to people. He sends it into a refiner, and they refine it into whatever, and then it ends up at Comex, back in contract, maybe. Who knows? But the refiners stopped buying from him because they're so clogged. So your contention is that the clog in the refiners doesn't isn't bullish and isn't bearish. How is that?
Well, it's we don't know because the reason there's a clog is because people on the demand side, industry is demanding unbelievable amounts of silver. In fact, they want to stack. They're stacking up vaults of their own silver because they are worried the price is going to keep going higher. So that is causing but they need, 0.99 pure bars in certain sizes. So the
Mhm.
refiners need to make that for them. So they're taking, grandma's candelabra and, people's junk constitutional silver and trying to refine that into 0.999 bars that they can go use in the industrial process. But the difference between the two, because a lot of people are unfortunately trying to cash in their silver now because they think they've reached the top or near the top, and so they're trying to cash in their constitutional silver right now. But it's hard to refine that into 0.999 bars, and there's a lot of it coming in on that side. So the refiners don't necessarily want that stuff, and they're not taking it. They're offering low premiums to the dealers for it. So the dealers are offering very low premiums to the retail sellers, and
Yeah.
that's causing the clog. But there is a unbelievably strong demand on the industrial side right now for this very pure bar silver that they can use in the processes. Now, further wrinkle in the crash, all that industrial demand is going to go away very quickly. Because nobody can afford solar panels and electric cars and solid state batteries, but the monetary demand for silver is going to absolutely explode. So all the
Right.
silver that's being applied into these big bars for industrial processes is being misallocated.
Oh my God, you're right. I didn't think of that. Oh,
Yes.
wait, hold on. Keep on that thought. But you know
Okay.
how we were talking about the delay between gold prices and affecting the consumer price level in dollars. That delay, it seems to be mirror image in the demand to sell on the retail level silver and the demand to buy on the industrial level with a clog going in the opposite direction up the supply chain instead of down.
Elaborate.
You see I see it visually. I'm trying to explain it in words.
We've all heard of the benefits of introrectogestion, and so making foods that can easily be inserted into the ass is essential. Now, everyone knows that some foods are simple to shove up the ass: puddings, soups, raisins. This is a nice raisin pudding right here. But we can also still eat our favorite foods. What we're going to do today is prepare a Thanksgiving turkey for introrecto.
That you we had the silver crashed 11%. My question was, well, why don't the price of everything, why doesn't the CPI go down like 11%
Yeah.
in a day if the gold price goes down 11%? The answer is because there's a delay between the gold level and the consumer level, which are on the opposite ends of the production structure. Right.
Okay.
But
Okay.
retail silver that is already in the hands of consumers, like people who have candelabras and junk silver and tea sets or whatever, that's already on the consumer level and it's trying to force its way back up the supply chain, right,
Swimming upstream.
in the
Okay. Yeah.
opposite direction, right?
Yeah.
So, and then you're saying, but when the end game comes, all this stuff that's forcing silver up the supply chain into the bars is going to come reversing itself
Yeah.
down from
It's
the bars into the money. But that's not there yet because we're not there yet. But like right now, like we're playing hot potato with this stupid silver brick, and it's like
yeah.
really hot, and the retail and the consumers are like throwing it back up the supply chain, and the supply chain can't handle it. And then eventually, when the ending comes, the people at the top of the supply chain are going to try to force it back to the retailers, but we're not going to have the minters ready to fire it up and make dimes again. It's going to
Yeah.
be it's going to really mess up the supply of silver that's going to be needed, which is exactly why the prices of everything in silver terms is going to plummet in the immediate aftermath of the end game until the coins start coming out from the bars and into the mints.
Can you imagine being the refiner who's been like melting down coins for like a year at a furious pace,
You
and then
know, you got
suddenly
to
get the
reverse
order, turn
everything.
it back, turn it back.
It's okay. Now, normally you would not be going 65 down the wrong way of a one-way street. Apply the brakes. Now put it in reverse.
Wait, don't you think that's a good idea, like to invest in like a mint or in like a
Oh,
round
absolutely,
producing
yes.
mint right
Yeah,
now?
right
Like
now,
that's
yeah.
what's coming.
That would be the most important. Anyone that can, even a backyard mint, if you can just like accurately dollop out, you can melt down silver and dollop them into little coin shapes or bar shapes.
Yeah, who cares about permits and whatever and counterfeiting? Because like if the government even stays intact at all, and then they're gonna try to locate everyone who can melt silver into coins and say, well, now we're gonna adopt you and we're gonna put, I don't know, Biden's face on the dime or something. Whatever.
That's what
What
I
were you
don't
saying?
I tell people all the time. If Trump if when the end game hits, if Trump melts down all the gold coin, all the bars in Fort Knox, he can put his face on them if he starts distributing out the coins. I think he would deserve to have his face on the coins at that point.
All right,
I don't
fine.
think
I'll
he's gonna
give it
do
to
it.
him. He can have his face. I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah, but anyway, so yeah, that explains it. The refiners are a bottleneck, like just like you said, it's going upstream into the industrial processes to come back down as consumer goods in other forms. That's gonna the streams are gonna wildly reverse in the end game, and then we're gonna be everyone's gonna be having a monetary panic for silver, and everyone that's getting rid of their silver now is going to deeply, deeply regret it.
Oh my God, there's so much volatility coming up. This is nothing.
Yeah, this is as I said, don't even think of like don't even look. It helps if you don't look. I know we all
No.
look. I look every day, but I mean I didn't like I said I have no emotional reactions to this. It's fine.
No, I had an emotional reaction. Like I was thinking like, oh, well, on Thursday I was worth X and now I'm worth Y, and then I did the difference and like whatever. It
But
didn't affect me for long.
okay, I would only have you should only have an emotional reaction if like you need at that moment in time to disgorge some silver or gold to get food or something. But like if it can sit there until it recovers in a couple weeks, then you're
Yeah, I know.
fine.
My kids were like, "Ah, but are we poor now?" And I'm like, "No, no, no. Everything's fine. No, we're
Did your
as
wife go
rich.
into
We're
depression mode immediately, be like, "All right, we're having
no,
one potato for
no,
dinner"?
no. My
No,
wife
okay,
doesn't. Thank God, my wife doesn't care that much about money.
okay,
But I mean, I can say that because we have enough. I mean, if we
yeah,
didn't, then she probably would. But like
of course, yeah.
her saturation point for like, okay, this is enough money is pretty low compared to other women. So I'm very blessed in that.
Good, good, good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have no problems. It's fine. It's like I did not have to go and explain to my wife because you know why? Because we bought it like 20, so I don't have to say like, oh dear, I made a bad investment. It's like, no, I made a great investment. It just took a temporary dip from
Yeah.
ballistic highs near the moon
Well,
down
first
to
of all, you
down
made
to
a great divestment.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah,
in order just we'll close this off here, but I wanted just to finish on that thought that it's not bullish or bearish if a refiner shuts down. The simplest way to explain the mechanics of that is if let's say the guy with the tea set is going to the coin shop to sell his tea set to the coin shop, then that's selling demand, and that is either going to be picked up by the refiner or not. If it's going to be picked up by the refiner, then he'll sell it. If it's not going to be picked up by the refiner, he won't sell it. And so the absence of the buyer takes out that seller, so it evens out the volume, or it evens
there
out
you
the
go.
price, right?
Yeah.
Is that it might not be perfectly even, right?
Yeah.
He might try to sell it at a pawn shop if he really needs the liquidity. Instead of going to the coin shop, he'll go to the pawn shop, which will get it at a
Low
discount.
ball. Yeah.
Yeah, get it. Yeah, so that might happen, but I would assume that most people with tea sets are selling their tea sets or whatever silver they have, their family silver, not because they desperately need to. Some might, but those that are most of those that are looking to sell are looking to sell because wow, it's like 120 an ounce. I
Yeah.
better just get rid of this stuff.
Yeah, but then if they're lowballing, then you don't actually get 120 an ounce when you get there. Some hopefully that turns some people away too. They're like, "What do you mean I'm only getting 90
Yeah.
or
All right.
whatever, 95?"
So I think it might be slightly bearish, but I don't think it's overwhelmingly bearish.
Yeah, again, I'm not. The only thing I'm worried about is that it's sucking silver out of the retail. So there's going to be even less silver in retail when the big one hits.
But that's good for us because we'll have it.
Yeah, okay. I'm willing to I'm willing to save humanity at the sake of my own enrichment.
No, no, no. But if you think about it this way, the more power we have and the less power the bad people have, the more likely we are to be able to save humanity because
That is
that's
true.
the less power for them. It's not about us having power. Like I don't want any kind of power, but
Yeah.
the more that we have, the more that stackers like us have, that our only goal is to get the division of labor moving again. Then the more power we have, the better because the thought of abusing it makes us sick.
Yep. All right. Any final thoughts?
That was my final thought.
All right, there you go.
What
I'm
about
still
you?
thinking about you slipping in barf. All right, take care, Rafi. And
Okay.
this may or may not be the last one. I don't know. The last bittering draft. We'll find out.
Put your
I'll let you
comments
know.
below. Comments
Yeah.
below. Tell Phil not to go. Okay, bye.
Gently extend your arm. Extend your middle finger. Very good.